will be going straight into the game. DDOLDDOLDDOLE from South Korea versus MC Rena from South Korea as well.
All right, so starting things off, it appears as if the openers are pretty well fleshed out here. Basically, you spend your first amounts of money on building a couple of troop trucks just to start your waves, start pushing, and it does depend on how many lanes there are in your map. So that is going to matter a lot. Probably an early focus on troop trucks from DDOLDDOLDDOLE because that's kind of what he knows the best. And yeah, he's already built a couple of bazooka trucks as well. Just one.
Yeah, so this is actually one of the maps that I was referring to where there's no high ground. There's two lanes that go left and right, and there's a middle lane where basic troops don't spawn, but there is still an opening and a supply crate drop X in the middle. So it's kind of weird. It's like the opposite of the first map where we have one lane in the middle and we have side flanks. But this time, the two side lanes on the left and right are the main lanes, and the one in the middle is actually the empty lane where you can just kind of not flank, but just go straight into the enemy's base.
Now, we should point out that MC Rema has changed her character. She is actually going to be going with Simmons this game, and one thing Simmons does better than any other player in the game is troop production. You can build so many troops. You can build tier 1 troops, tier 2 troops, tier 3 troops, and so you can really just build as many as you want. It's very, very powerful, and I do hope that we get a chance to really see her use that overwhelming power here on a 2-lane map.
Exactly, and it's actually pretty good going up against Gallon's division, which Dole decided to use once again because MC Rena's third tier 3 troop is mortar troops. So they have the long range tank destroying damaging rockets or whatever you want to call it, shooting out of their mortars, and they destroy artilleries and heavy tanks. So MC Rena, if she does decide to build those later on, Dole's going to have trouble with producing his tanks.
Really cool moment right here. 2-on-1 set up by Rema. She knew that she needed to deal with that in transposition and set up the 2-on-1 to take out that artillery and the tank there. Beautifully played.
All right. Well, early game, nothing too critical is happening. They are just getting a taste of what each other will decide to do. Dole, actually, this time, he's not starting super early with his troop productions. He only has 2 infantry truck and 1 bazooka truck, and he's focusing a lot on his basic heavy tank.
Yeah, so he's got 4 or 5 Panzers out there, but I don't really know if that's going to work out because the tanks tend to, they're going to clump up for artillery fire, and the bazooka troops that Rema does have a few of are still going to be very effective against those Panzers. But I'm guessing that we should see her save money to get up to tier 3 here pretty soon. Those mortar troops are actually so incredibly strong.
Yeah, she definitely needs the mortar trucks. Unfortunately, she doesn't get the information that we have at the bottom where, the number of units are produced on either side. So we get this. So if she slowly figures out that Dole has this many Panzers out already saved up, she should just go straight for the mortar troops because of that long-range tank destroying firepower that the mortar troops bring to her. So we'll see if she notices that and she decides to just level up to tier 3 quickly.
All right, so we do see a little bit of a shift in the gameplay. We've got a couple of fighters being produced by DDOLDDOLDDOLE as he looks to take control of the air. No anti-air, but that is going to become more and more important because all these troops we're talking about Rena producing, they don't shoot up.
They definitely do not shoot up. She doesn't have any anti-air in her troop as well. So right now, in terms of troop and pressure, Dole is definitely, if he felt like it, he could just pressure Rena right in front of her base, right up to her face. But right now, it seems like he just wants the middle ground. This is the empty lane where basic troops do not go through. He has stationed all his tanks. Look at this. Massive amounts of Panzer and a couple of artillery in the middle to kind of negate the basic troops going on the side lanes.
That's right. So both of our players might be teching up here. I'm always waiting to see where that tier 3 comes through because in the last game it was very, very important. And actually Dole is almost at that 30. Yeah, hitting 28, hitting 30. All right, well, he's got to spend his money. See our players moving around. I'm hoping that we don't have another disconnection issue because he has stopped.
No, he's moving.
Okay,
Both
he's
of these-
moving.
Yeah.
Got to spend that money.
I think he's busy controlling specific units and placing them that he didn't notice that he was full for so long. And now the money's spent. And same thing is happening for Rena. She is at full money. She's busy controlling. Finally, she does spend
There
it,
it
and
is.
she has that bomber.
Yep, she went up to tier
Oh,
3,
gosh.
has a mortar troop and a B-52 or B-40. Man, my numbers.
B-17 Flying Fortress.
B-17
Yeah.
Flying Fortress. What was the super fortress? Is a B-42 if I'm not mistaken. I don't know.
Okay.
My history was not my strongest class. But they do have the big bomber and the high tier units coming out of Rena, and that's going to be a huge advantage. Let's see what she does with it.
All right, yeah, she does have that solid defense in front of her base on the left side, but she doesn't seem to want to kind of get out of her base yet. She is sending out a couple small units to kind of deal with those tanks here, but she's not massively producing to get out of her base, rather than just to defend here in her base with the artilleries placed inside the walls of her base.
Yeah, I mean, there's one way to do it is to defend, to set all your units in the base and try to, just get an overwhelming advantage, either with high-powered troop trucks, build up a bunch of bombers, and then run across the map and kill your enemy's base. A lot of different ways to do it, but I don't think that Dole is going to give her the chance to kind of take that kind of a breather. He's got 7 of these Panzer tanks out in the lane, and so those are really going to put the push on. But you can see he's actually kind of grouping his units all up here in the middle of the map, so I'm curious what he wants to do with that entrenched position.
We'll have to see, because Dole, grouping up, taking over a terrain, and to make sure that it's his is a good strat. But we've seen base artilleries just massacre those units in the previous game.
Yeah.
And you don't want to do that. If you are going to do that, you have to be ready. When you hear that siren from that base artillery, you have to spread all your units where they're clumped up so they don't all explode. We'll see if MC Rena thinks of doing that or if she has another thing in mind.
Here comes that bombing run. That's what she has in mind. Ready to go, dropping bombs all over this clumped up group of units. There are fighters out there, but
she runs by.
Yeah.
Oh, there we go.
All right, there it is. But I don't actually think the bombing run went according to plan, because it felt like she dropped the bombs on the turnaround, not the actual bombing run. But she's coming back around for another trip, and maybe this will... Wait, where is that dropping?
She practice run.
Okay,
she dropped it in her base just to see if it works correctly.
Okay. I mean, I guess that's one way to do it. She has gone up to 2 of these B-17s, and that is, obviously going to be twice the potential damage. And if she goes up to 3, we could be getting towards that 4 to 5 number that you need to just one-shot the enemy base.
Yeah, I don't know if she is willing to take the risk of just sending the expensive units straight into the base where it has basic anti-air in the base inside the walls, but she's doing it. She has seen the NA qualifiers. She is trying to do a very similar thing, but it does go down.
Yeah.
This one was the weak one, though. It wasn't the one with the full HP.
Right. So I guess she was really kind of just getting rid of it. Maybe doesn't want to save it for a rainy day. And there's actually 4 of these Messerschmitt fighters out for Dole. So his Air Force is very strong. I don't think that using the bombers that way to deal base damage is going to be the way to go.
Yeah, right now, in terms of Rena, like you say, she's getting pressured so much. She has no terrain control at all. So since she does have some bombers, maybe just get rid of the massively grouped up tank in the middle right now, as shown, to get rid of this, to kind of get out of her cave right now, because she's been stuck in her base for so long, probably all of the game of 9 minutes here.
Yeah, and she's using units that kind of wind up getting expended, just dragging them into the lane, whether they're the Panzers or just the troops. I actually think it might be a good idea to just build up a critical mass of troop trucks if she's going to be defending for this long. Just build up a lot of mortars. Those things do pretty darn well. So let's see what both of our players want to focus on. You'll notice that Dole has built a ton of air defense. 3 anti-aircraft guns, as well as 4 planes in the sky. He is totally solid against any sort of airborne aggression.
Yeah, exactly. As Dole was building and preparing for those bombers with the anti-aircraft, Rena is trying to do a flank attack here with the Shermans, and she actually does reach Dole's side gate here, and now Dole has to pull back a couple of units to do so, and there they are. The backup has come for Dole, and it may be a little bit too late for one tower. It could go down here.
The bazooka troops actually dealing a lot of damage to deal with the armor that's running right by. The towers are very, very close, and Dole does lose his first one to just side lane push. The power of the troops eventually push all the way to his tower and take it down.
All right, one of the tower is down. Dole focusing on his defense now. He had too many units in the center that it took him a little bit long to bring them back for reinforcements, but now he does defend it after one tower goes down. Now Rena, she kind of has an idea which routes are safe, even though Dole has most of the control. But yeah, we do hear that siren.
That siren means only one thing, and we are about to see a launch momentarily.
I think we missed it. It already hit Rena here.
All right.
The V2 rocket has landed here in front of one of the side lanes of the base of Rena.
Well, you know, hopefully that's enough to kind of reset things, because even though it massively crushes Rena's infantry count, that'll build back up over time. I want to see if she does go for rebuilding that, because now she's no more mortar trucks, no more bazooka trucks, just one infantry truck left.
Yeah, she definitely needs to produce a little bit more, but look at this. She has been focusing on the bomb drops, and she does land it on the main command center. It takes roughly 25 to 30% of Dole's command center's HP down, and she still has 2 bombers left in her base.
That's a really cool way. I was wondering what she was going to be doing with her money after taking that massive V2 rocket hit, but it looks like we found the answer there, Ending. She is banking up these bombers to try to run them into the main base and take it out. But, I mean, there's still a ton of anti-aircraft fire to run through. There's still 3 fighters in the air, and here we go. We've got bomber number 2.
But this one is a little bit low, so I don't know if she wants to send this first, but I guess she just does want to send it out. And Dole has lost his anti-air. He did have 3 prepared, but I think that side attack that Rena did before this attack actually got rid of the 3 anti-airs, and this time around, that big bomber does go down. That was the one with a little bit of low health, so it's not surprising. But look at this. Dole is ignoring the damage that his base is taking, has already came in to MC Rena's base.
That's right. His troop trucks are still in effect. 5 infantry troop trucks, 2 Panzer Shreks for those bazookas. Ooh. And that's just very, very powerful. This push is going to need to be bombed. But the bombers aren't going for the push. They're going for the base.
All right, I guess they are just kind of going to see who kills first. But Rena only has 1 bomber airplane, and that's 100% not enough. But look at this damage taken. Look at the damage.
It's going up too high. Dole is able to claim a victory in the end and advance on to the grand finals.